So Shelley, you've been in business for 25 years. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I think that between the two of us, we've seen a lot of trends come and go. And I think what was important and the kind of the basis of this collection was the natural materials, because they don't come and go, and they're the pieces that I think really stand the test of time.
I think the beauty about this collection is it is so transitional. You know, it will transition from one look into another if a client moves or changes their decor. These are pieces that you'll have forever.
So Shelley, the Walton Ottoman, which was the first one I sketched badly, but the first design that kind of really came in my head is this beautiful little ottoman, and the idea of it was to be woven and curved with a curve in the top and some kind of woven material, which we kind of eventually moved into the paper cord once we got to the workroom and Cebu and saw what they could achieve, because the curves were such a tricky element, but what we really felt would soften a boxy piece like that. And then I think the materials then drove so much. I went and saw the factory, met the beautiful family and the artisans, and we saw what they could do in sampling of the paper cord and the weaves and the timber stains, and that really then I think helped evolve the collection.
And I mean, you saw firsthand the relationship that we have and the trust that we have in them as the manufacturer, and that friendship, and you know, just their skill.
I think that's what gave me such confidence in working with you on this collaboration, which was a first for us as well. And just feeling that trust and knowing that our name was going to be behind it, and feeling very confident that we would have quality with that with BOYD Blue. The Barclay bedside table, we always wanted a bedside table in this collection because it's one of the hardest things for us to find in our projects, funnily enough, but it's just getting that scale right and the colour right and the detail and the storage, because we do want a bit of storage in a bedside table.
And as much as you had a vision, some of that changed over time.
Very
when you,
much.
You know, on those trips to Cebu, when you saw different, you know, ways that they...
Understanding what's possible and what they could achieve, and the little curves. There's so many subtle details that we talk about, which we you may or may not notice, but it was so important for us. So the Humphrey side table, he is a real sweetie. It's a beautiful scale and a piece that we thought could really, again, go anywhere. But the idea of a side table, we often use a mix of side tables in our projects and 2 or 3 in a living room, and we try to change the scale and the materiality of those pieces to give the room layer and texture and interest. And the material of this really, we didn't land on until we got to the factory, and we saw what they could do with resin, and the idea that it looks like stone, but it's got the practicality of being lightweight. It feels very solid, but it's actually very light to move around. So the Theodore, I think if I can have a favourite, this could be it, just because he's so simple, but there's so much detail in the simplicity, and I think that is always the hardest thing to achieve. And the final tweak was actually putting a little soft curve into the top of the bench, which I really love. It's such an easy little piece to put anywhere.
Everett headboard, that sort of evolved as well.
Well, I think we thought the headboard in the end was going to be much more versatile than the full frame bed. Easier to put in different scenarios, and the detail of the timber on the side, that took a lot of the angle and the flat top on the taper, and that's sort of a nod through to the dining chairs. So we wanted the collection to have a thread and a familiarity, but also for each piece to be able to stand alone. We wanted some kind of a storage piece in the collection because, again, for the practicality and the usability of it, and I think this has really ticked a lot of boxes.
And just being solid oak, you know, it just oozes quality, I think. And as you said, so versatile. I can absolutely see that piece in an entry transitioning through to a bedroom or a dining area.
Yeah, I think we couldn't have achieved that detail in anything other than the solid timber, and it's a testament to the factory, and I think their craftsmanship that they were able to achieve that, and with the stain and that detail. Just showing those materials in their authentic state, seeing the beautiful grain of the oak, seeing the turn of the paper cord, seeing the weave of the wicker. I think all of these elements are what makes a piece special and gives it that character and tells the story of the material, because it's about what's come before, and these pieces have got a story that's outlived all of us already, and now they come and get to be reinvented into something beautiful that then lives in our home and lives with us in our space.